Welcome back. Today I'm once again talking about one of my favorite things that exist out here on this earth, or in this plane, in this reality, which is Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil, I love Final Fantasy, but eventually I'll start touching base on that maybe another day. But the fact that I've gained some traction on at least one of my Resident Evil videos gives me hope that maybe some other people might be interested in some of my takes. And today I wanted to talk about why do people hate Ethan Winters so bad, and also like one thing that they can add in RE Requiem that they need to make sure that it's a great experience for us all. Which I want to go ahead and start with Ethan. Why do people hate Ethan? Seriously, I really want to know, why do people not like this character? Like, if you like him, please let me know in the comments, because I can't be the only one who actually felt something when the twist happened in RE8. Spoilers alert, by the way. I mean, I'm spoiling the games if you ain't played them. Like, damn. I mean, I figured you wouldn't be here if you done played the games. Usually, look, one thing about this channel, I assume most things I talk about on this channel, most people have already viewed probably some other videos about already before they got here. Now, if I'm one of your first sources of information, thank God. I am honored to be one of those. But also, you know, you might want to watch some other videos if you want more details sometimes, because a lot of times you just get my opinion about what has already been stated out there. But other than that, talking about Ethan once again, why people hate this man, I don't get it. Because the twist that they actually had, I felt something at the end of RE Village. I did. I'm sorry. When they revealed that you've been dead the whole time, I felt played. But it did make a lot of sense. I mean, when you start realizing, I'm like, damn, like Ethan is the toughest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life. This man's gotten both hands, I think, cut off, and he just keeps on trucking. Like when the man poured on the medicine, like he poured on the first aid medical liquid on his hand and just glued his hand back together. I was like, okay, look, man, something's up here. Is that how that's been working all these video games? Like they just spray the first aid spray on them and it's like Axe, you know, body spray, and all of a sudden they're healed again. I mean, all the wounds go away. Like, I want to know what's in those effing cans, because that shit has got to be illegal. Like, it's got to be the most expensive shit on the planet. Plutonium. I mean, that doesn't, I'm sorry, doesn't compare. Vibranium, that was the other object I was thinking of. Jesus, that was the substance I was trying to figure out. I was going blank over here. But yes, apparently it is even more powerful than that. Because I'm telling you, for that stuff to actually be the way it was in the video games, that was always incredible to me. Like, I always wanted to know what that action actually looked like. Like, if you got bit in the shoulder and somebody took out some flesh, what do? You just spray it on and all of a sudden you regenerate? I mean, damn, does that give you powers at that point in time? Because it would think, you know, that fast of acceleration, there's something that's got to be going on genetically going on down there. I'm just saying. But also the fact that, you know, Ethan was a normal guy. I thought that was the best part, to relate to most people. And I think that's the ones who don't hate him relate to the most, is the fact that he was just a father out there looking for his daughter, and he would do anything to protect his family. Truly, I mean, he was putting himself through hell. He didn't even understand that he was dead the whole time. He just knew that he kept surviving all these terrible falls. I mean, he felt a lot of stories, and he got lucky every time by either splashing in water or not landing on something solid, but it wouldn't have mattered. He was mold. He would have just glued back together. I mean, it was going to happen. I mean, it was sort of like he was Orochimaru, or he was Taguro's brother or something like that. I mean, if he would just slip back together. So, I mean, it would have worked out. But I thought that was a good twist, because they actually strung me along. And that's sometimes because I'm pretty gullible in some moments. You know, when I was playing those games, I might not have always been just like locked all the way in. I was playing them though, and thus I might have missed a few details. But I definitely had questions along the way about why he could take so much damage. But I really want to know why people don't like Ethan, because those are the reasons why I liked Ethan. He's normal, relatable, went through hell, and the story was original. Like, people hate RE8 because it had more action. Well, what was 4? What was 5? If people like those games, I don't see why you hate 8. Is it just because it was in first person? I mean, I get some people don't like that, but damn, I mean, that's not a whole reason to hate a game. There was much more substance to the game. I mean, I don't know. I thought the fact that it was an original story, they tied it together pretty well. I mean, they want to tie in the mold to way too many different things, I feel like, previously. And I mean, I'm not exactly here for it, but I'm not also against it, as long as it doesn't get too stupid. But I just don't think there's anything really wrong with the way they handled Ethan's story at all. I thought it was really good that they came out of a creative story, and I think people aren't appreciative enough of Ethan, because without Ethan, Resident Evil pretty much dies after 6. Because if RE7 doesn't have the great rebrand it does, I'm sorry, the series is pretty much irrelevant. Nobody's going to care about Village, and nobody damn sure is going to give a damn about RE Requiem. Nobody's going to care because they would have just gave up after 6, and if they threw out a dud with 7, nobody was going to play anymore because I'm telling you, spirits were low after 6. They were real low. It was like the Cleveland Browns after they went 0-16 again. I was like, damn, really? Yeah, you hit rock bottom. It was not a good place to be. But one thing I was talking about with RE9 that I haven't mentioned before, one thing I think they need to make sure they have in this game, which they took away in RE3 Remake, which also could have really helped with the replay value of that game, is making sure that you have more unlockables after the game. Sort of like with Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2, though Resident Evil 2s were added on like periodically over time. I wish they would have more at the launch of the game, that if you play through the game and you keep beating it, get your certain requirements, you actually unlock more costumes. Like, what's holding them back? Like, I mean, come on now. It's not like there's not enough space in the game. It's not like you can't add more skins. You can't add a few more costumes, a few more things. Like even with Resident Evil 4, you could have added more. You acting like you can't add more dresses for Ada? I mean, I'm not saying that's all I'm into, but dang, you can't add more shirts for Leon, another jacket, another hat. I mean, dang, man, give him another pimp coat. Give him an actual pimp coat. I don't care. Just make it to where modders don't have to add everything into the game. I mean, you know, you can add a lot more unlockables. You play the game again. You play the game again, like it was back in the day. You know, maybe this isn't one thing, but it's another thing they can add into the game is where the game and the story interlocks. If you're gonna have two different tie-in storylines to the game, make sure like if you do one part in one part of the game, it affects the other half. You know, make sure that the stories intertwine. Now I know it's too late for Requiem because the game's pretty much already made, but hopefully they think about these things in future titles. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but I always feel like they don't have enough unlockables. Stop putting some things behind the paywall to get it early. Like, just have it in the effing game. People are going to buy the game if you have this stuff in it, and people are going to enjoy it, and people are going to invest time. That just is the way it is. Make good video games. People will support it. And I mean, occasionally, because they like the game, they will buy more DLC if you add it on later. So that's cool. DLC is fine. Like, just stop making people pay for extra keys and a pair of shoes and shit like that. Like, stop. A pair of earrings, $5.99? I mean, bruh, like, let's go. I mean, what is that? Stop. Just stop with the greediness. Like, it's enough. One thing I did want to add is that, look, I think some point in time this month, I think RE2 and RE3 for the original PlayStation is finally going to come back out. I want to chronicleize some of that journey and share it with some of y'all. Let you know what some of my new playing experience with that game is, because I haven't played them in a really long time. In a self-confession over here, I never beat the original RE3. And I am really ashamed to think that. But, like, I didn't. I didn't because we didn't buy it. We kept renting the game, but we never beat it. And it seemed like every time we rented that game, we never had enough time to just play it all in one setting, or we didn't have enough space on the memory card, or something held us back from beating that game. Now, my cousin probably beat it, and I just don't remember because he beat every game. But I know I didn't, because I was a bad gamer back then. I was really young, and I didn't know how to like figure out the puzzles, which is just a messed up thing to think. Like, man, I remember when I beat the original RE1 finally, I like cried. I shed a tear because I was just like, wow. I can't believe I did it. I beat this game that had puzzles in it. Like, I always was bad at Zelda, but I finally beat Resident Evil. A game that I finally learned, like, I discovered at one of my older brothers' friend's house. Played it, and I was like, man, this is one of the coolest games I've ever seen. Couldn't make it past the first zombie, I mean, but still, outside of that, but I was also really young then. But when I finally played the game and I finally beat it one day, that sense of accomplishment was huge. And then I got a little bit older and I realized this was like the easiest game that ever existed. I mean, it was shameful for me to think that I was that bad of a gamer at one point in time, but I was. But I did beat Resident Evil 2. And I do remember that. And I will play it again. Because it's definitely going to be different than playing the remake. I know it is. Boy, it's going to be so much different. And a lot of things I want to relive again. It's going to feel like a fresh playthrough, and it'll be fun. And I'm going to actually beat RE3 this time. And it's going to be fun as well. Well, anyway. That's enough for me today. Holla at your boy.